She was born in a small frontier town where superstition mattered more than truth, and survival mattered more than love. Her name was Alara, a quiet girl with soft eyes and a gentleness that made even wild horses calm when she touched them. But to the townfolk, her silence was not gentleness, it was suspicion. When Alara turned 19, tragedy hit the town like a curse. A fire broke out in their neighbor's barn, killing 2 horses and injuring a rancher. A week later, another family lost their cattle to a sudden sickness. And then, Alara's own little brother died from a fever no doctor could explain. Each misfortune pushed the town deeper into fear, and fear turned into blame. They whispered that Alara carried a curse, that her presence brought death, and someone, no one knows who, first, called her a Black Widow, the name given to women whose lives were marked by unexplained loss. Instead of protecting her, her parents, poor, desperate, and terrified, took the whispers as truth. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains, painting the sky in blood-red streaks, they tied Alara's hands and led her to the town square. She kept asking why, but they never met her eyes. When the crowd gathered, her father announced that they couldn't keep a cursed girl in their home anymore. Someone joked that they should sell her to any man brave or foolish enough to take her. The men laughed, and then one man stepped forward, a trader passing through town, known to buy anything from horses to stolen goods. He tossed a small bag of coins into her father's hands. Her mother accepted the money without a single tear. Alara wanted to scream, but her voice felt locked in her throat. The trader dragged her toward his wagon. The town watched, some with pity, most with relief. To them, the curse was leaving. To her, the world was ending. Days passed as the trader traveled with her, treating her like a burden he couldn't wait to get rid of. She was meant to be sold again further north. But fate took a strange turn when a thunderstorm forced them to take shelter near the mountains. The trader, greedy and careless, drank himself asleep under the wagon. That night, the wagon wheel sank into mud. The horses panicked, and the whole wagon overturned, breaking the trader's leg beneath it. Alara's hands were free enough to pull herself out. The trader cursed her, shouting that she caused the storm, the mud, everything. She wanted to run, to escape, but she couldn't leave a man to die, even one who bought her like an object. She tried to help him, but the storm only worsened. The next morning, a man descended from the mountains, a tall, quiet mountain man with long hair, a worn brown coat, and eyes that held the calm of deep forests. His name was Rowan Hale. He lived alone in the high mountains, far from civilization, far from judgment, far from cruelty. He approached cautiously, helped lift the wagon, secured the horses, and checked the trader's injuries. When Rowan asked who she was, the trader spat out the words, "She's cursed, the Black Widow," as if it explained everything. Rowan looked at Alara for a long moment. Not with fear, not with disgust, but with curiosity. She expected him to step away. Instead, he said, "Curses belong to men's fears, not to God's truth." It was the first kindness she heard in months. Rowan carried the trader back to town, despite the man insisting. Alara brought the accident upon him. The townspeople were shocked to see her alive and even more shocked to see Rowan walking beside her. They crowded around, whispering, pointing, calling her names. They expected Rowan to reject her. Instead, he stepped forward and said something that silenced everyone. "If you people won't give her a home," he said. "I will." Gasps spread through the crowd. No one had ever spoken for her before. Her parents were silent, unable to even look at her. Rowan placed a small pouch of coins, what little money he had, into her father's hand. "Not buying her," he said firmly, "but buying her freedom." The crowd didn't understand. Her parents didn't care. They took the money. Rowan looked at Alara with quiet steadiness. "You don't have to come with me," he said softly. "But if you want a place where no one calls you cursed, I have one." For the first time in her life, someone offered her a choice, and with trembling footsteps, she followed him toward the mountains, toward the unknown, and toward the first flicker of hope she had ever felt. The climb into the mountains felt like stepping into another world. The noise of the town faded behind them, replaced by wind moving through pines, and the distant cry of eagles circling the cliff edges. Rowan walked ahead steadily, his dog trotting close by, occasionally looking back to make sure Alara was still there. Every mile made the burden on her chest a little lighter. When they reached Rowan's cabin, a sturdy wooden home overlooking a valley, Alara felt something she had never felt before: safety. Rowan showed her the small vegetable garden, the creek where clean water ran, the smokehouse, the shelves packed with dried herbs and handmade tools. Everything in his life was simple, honest, and earned by hard work. He gave her a blanket, warm food, and a place to sleep. Not once did he ask anything of her. Not once did he treat her like she was cursed. Over the next days, Rowan discovered things about Alara that no one had cared to notice. She could calm injured animals with just her presence. She could read weather signs better than most hunters. She knew how to sew, cook, and gather herbs that soothed fevers, skills her mother had taught her before fear ruined everything. Rowan admired her quiet strength, while Alara watched Rowan work with a kind of respect she had never felt for anyone. He chopped wood with steady rhythm, repaired his tools with care, and prayed before every meal with sincerity that stirred something warm in her chest. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Rowan found her standing by the creek, staring at her reflection. She asked him softly, "Do you believe what they say about me?" Rowan stepped beside her. "I believe people fear what they don't understand," he said. "And they fear people who survive what others can't." "Then why take me?" she whispered. "Because," Rowan said, "God doesn't make cursed women, only blessed ones." Tears filled her eyes. Tears of a lifetime of hurt. Melting at last. That was the moment she realized he didn't just see her. He valued her. Days turned into weeks. Rowan taught her how to set traps, how to read animal tracks, how to navigate the mountains safely. Alara taught him which herbs healed wounds faster, how to mend torn shirts neatly, how to bake bread that stayed soft longer in the cold. They became partners without planning to. Two broken souls finding wholeness in the quiet. But peace never lasts forever. One icy morning, Rowan's dog growled toward the woods. They saw shadows moving through the trees. 3 men from the town, including the traitor. They claimed Rowan had stolen the girl, that she belonged to them, that they wanted her back. Rowan stood in front of her, his jaw hard. "She's not your property," he said. "She is free," the traitor sneered. "She's cursed. You'll regret keeping her." Rowan's hand tightened on his hunting knife. "The only curse here is cruelty," he said. The men tried to grab her, but Rowan fought with the fury of a man defending more than a life, defending a purpose. The dog lunged. The men retreated, defeated and humiliated. When they left, Alara collapsed into Rowan's arms, not in fear but in overwhelming gratitude. Rowan whispered into her hair, "You are safe. As long as I breathe, you are safe." That night, under the soft glow of lantern light, Alara finally spoke the words she had held for so long. "Why do you protect me? Why do you care so much?" Rowan looked at her with warmth deeper than any fire. "Because," he said gently, "I asked God for someone to share my life with, someone with courage, someone with kindness, someone he would bless me with, and he sent you." She felt her heart open like a flower after winter. No one had ever called her a blessing. No one except Rowan. Slowly, she touched his hand. "Then let me stay," she whispered. "Not because I have nowhere to go, but because you see me as I wish I could see myself." Rowan smiled, a soft, reverent smile. "Then stay," he said. "In the silent mountains, under the watch of stars bright enough to guide souls." He called her something no one had dared speak before. "My blessed wife." And for the first time, she believed it. She believed she was not cursed. She was chosen. She was loved. She was finally home. And friends, if you want more powerful stories like this, stories of courage, survival, love, and second chances, then please subscribe to the channel. Your support helps bring these stories to life. Don't forget to like, share, and join us for the next journey.